lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's EVP from the EVP Show. And we're live finally. StreamYard was really acting up. It will not let me go live from the WWE TV page for some reason. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. It would not let me go live though. I'm just retweeting really quick. I'm not sure what's going on with StreamYard, but it would not let me go live. It says you can only go live to X accounts that are premium or have a blue check mark. I don't know when that started, but yeah, it's weird. Just retweeting. Very odd. I've never seen it do that. It's never done that before. It says it started that on July the 14th, but it's never done that. So it's weird. I had to go live on my YouTube, my X, and I'm also live on Miami's X. Like I said, it would not let me go live on WWE TV. What's going on, Luke Gotti? I ended the other stream because it was not letting me go live. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. It's all Miami, so maybe he'll take a look at it tomorrow. I don't know if he has to reconnect the account or what, but yeah. So So what did you guys think about Raw tonight? You guys actually killed it yesterday. Thank you again for 15 likes on Sunday Night Scoop. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. It would not let me stream. Like I said, I went live. It said can only stream to premium X accounts. So I don't know what that means. I have no idea. No idea. We'll see. I don't know. But we're live. We're gonna go ahead and roll through this. Hopefully you guys had a good Monday. Still hot everywhere. I don't know if it's hot where you guys are. Hot 90s to 100s. South is 100, over 100 degrees. May not get the numbers normally I get for Raw. Like I said, I had to end the stream from earlier and make a whole new stream. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. Apparently it will not let me stream from the WWE page, so he may have to reconnect it tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure what's going on with it. It let me stream to his page, so I don't know. I don't know if it's part of the StreamYard or what, but we'll see. We're gonna rock on though. I have retweeted that I was live. So we're on the road to, obviously we got NXT Heatwave coming up, 13 days away. And then Sunday night's main event, which is the opening weekend of the NFL season, which I just saw that somebody posted that. And it kind of clicked and I was like, well, they're going to have something. They're not doing a PLE in September, which is crazy. I thought they might do WrestlePalooza, but Money in the Bank's the next PLE, so looks like they're going to try to stack the card, obviously, with the NFL. I'm going to tell you, Raw just didn't really kick it for me tonight, truthfully. Raw was an 8 from what I've seen so far. I enjoyed every match. The promos weren't bad. They're actually building a story and not just spamming Danhausen. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I would probably give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7. I don't know. It wasn't terrible. It's just some of the stuff kind of felt a little bit all over the place, especially the opening stuff with Stephanie and Liv and Becky. I didn't really like that too much. You can tell they're really trying to drag that out. Tribal Chief versus LA Knight is next. I'm gonna be starting at the beginning, so you'll be done by the time. Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus LA Knight at Money in the Bank. But the opening segment, I don't know, it felt like it was kind of all over the place for me personally. It felt like maybe they're just, I don't know, they don't want to do it at Sunday Night's main event. Maybe they end up doing some sort of tag match or something there. I'm not sure, but they're definitely not going to. It doesn't look like they're going to do a title match there. For me, it kind of looks like they're just going to they're just going to hold off on it until Money in the Bank. So Ray Phoenix versus El Pascal was a slow burn banger. They got the crowd into it by the end. Ray got a huge pop after the win. That match was good. Chad Gable did not get any response tonight, which was very odd. The WWE need a creative change. It's really tough to say. So many ads and commercials. It's kind of, you just gotta, I don't know. It's just the way it is now with WWE television. So you just kind of have to accept it for what it is. And I guess my two biggest things from the show before we get into recapping it was obviously I don't know, the opening segment kind of felt a little all over the place to me, a little spotty. Well, there's actually 3 things. Having Lyra Valkyrie lose clean. I'm not quite sure what they're doing with her character to turn her heel, and then I do think they're doing Braun and Oba too soon. I think they're just trying to stack like I said, it sounds like they're just trying to stack the match card for up against football. I think it's too soon. Neither one of them can really take a loss. So I'm thinking somebody's probably going to show up. Maybe we get a Bronson Reed coming back. I don't know. But for me, it's a bit too soon. Unless Bronson comes back and then maybe Owen goes to him next, and then they go back to Braun or something like that. I don't know. I don't think either one of them can really afford to lose. I mean, they're going to have several more matches together, but so you think Braun Breaker is going to get the win in his hometown? I think it's going to be a DQ or something. I think Bronson Reed's showing up, but I think it's going to be a DQ. I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to. I don't think it main events either. I definitely don't think it's main event, which is crazy, but I definitely don't think it's going to main event. I highly doubt that it's going to main event over Cody and Randy. So, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a match I've been looking forward to seeing. The main event's definitely going to be Cody and Randy. I mean, there's just no way that's not. It's also Cody's hometown too. So, would think that Cody and Randy main events, but we'll see. We'll see what else is added. Like, I don't expect like an 8-match card or anything like that. We may get 6, but it's just weird. So Saturday Night Main Event's got more matches out right now than Heatwave, which is crazy. So I do believe Bronson is showing up. So I don't know what the main event is, but I'm just gonna assume it's Cody and Randy. In Cody's hometown. So we'll see. The last segment, it was okay. Solo, I never thought he was joining up with the Bloodline. I talked about it on Scoops yesterday. That just didn't make any sense. He's too over the babyface. He got a big pop. He did get a big pop for when he spiked Roman tonight. You can see some dissension, obviously. Roman making the Usos the captains, and Jacob doesn't really like it. So you can tell there's a lot of dissension there. Looks like Roman's a heel. A lot of the podcasters that I watch talk about that all the time. They can't really tell the difference. To me, tonight he kind of seemed like a heel. So if WWE has less attendance, then book smaller arenas, or just go down on the prices. That's probably one of the biggest concerns. But yeah, so I don't know. At the end of the day, it's LA Knight's not winning the title. So I mean, I don't know where, you're just getting 2 matches for Roman out of this whole situation is basically what you're doing. So LA Knight's not winning the title. I guess he goes to Solo after that. So it's something for Roman to do. Ultimately, until we get close to the end of the year. So I mean, it was good. It was one, it was a good ending instead of just a promo. But LA Knight fans are going to be disappointed at Money in the Bank. So all I can tell you, he's not winning the title. They're not going to change their mind. They're not going to say, "Oh, I'm going to put the title on LA Knight for a big moment because he's getting cheered." They're not going to change their mind because of the internet. They're just not. They're not. It's not happening. They have plans for Roman all the way up until WrestleMania, so they're not changing it. I mean, they're not. LA Knight's not winning the title. So if you guys are expecting that, then I'm gonna go ahead and be the bearer of bad news because it's not going to happen. So like I said, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the match because I'll be there, but at the end of the day, that's LA Knight tonight, probably as close as he's going to get to winning the title. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. It's very weird that it will not let me stream to WWE TV tonight. But we'll go ahead and get started. This is your Raw Recap. Monday, August 17th. Man, August is flying by. 2026. Hopefully we can get it fixed by tomorrow, so I don't have to cram Miami's X page with the lives and stuff like that. That's why we have WWE television. They were live on it earlier, so for the rundown. So I don't know what's going on. Rollins vs. McIntyre was the best WrestleMania until its creative came and asked Priest to win the title. So that was 40. That was 40, right? WrestleMania 40. The creative's been bad. I mean, for a lot of the creative has been bad since WrestleMania 40. I would agree with you on that. I mean, I don't know if that was the best. Seth and Drew at WrestleMania 40, I don't feel like that was the best match I've ever seen, but I I was at that WrestleMania, so I think about wasn't that 40? Yeah, it was 40 because Seth and Cody lost to Roman and Rock night 1, and then Seth lost to Drew night 2. I believe he opened night 2 and lost, and then Priest cashed in. I think that's correct. I don't know. I know he lost the title because of the hurt leg. All right, so this is your Raw recap. August 17, 2026, from the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Gonna see a obviously the tournament still going on to see who's gonna face Roman Reigns in Mexico. There was a match on AAA Saturday. I believe it's La Parca advanced. When did they add this is your warning shot to Jay's interest news? I think they just added that. I just noticed it last week, I believe. So I believe it was La Parca that won Saturday or whenever AAA was on. So we're getting Penta versus La Parca next week, and then we're going to get Dragon Lee versus Ray Phoenix next week as well. 2 semifinal matches. The winner moves on to the finals. The winner faces Roman Reigns in Mexico for the Raw World Heavyweight Championship in September, which is going to be Penta. But I'm looking forward to it. Could be Penta Dragon Lee, but I think it's probably going to be Penta Phoenix. So then maybe we get the Lucha Brothers back. Probably the best move for Penta moving forward because I do not believe he's winning Money in the Bank now for sure since he's getting a title match. We'll see. That's why I'm so concerned about this Braun Breaker Oba thing. Are they going to carry this over to Money in the Bank? I would have Braun win Money in the Bank, but I don't know. Will WWE be sold by TKO? I mean, possibly. They could. Saudi Arabia may buy it. The Saudis may buy it. So the crowd was pretty hyped, but for some people they were not. Chad Gable got no reception at all. And the crowd got super excited when they thought Rey Mysterio was about to win the title. So I'm sure WWE paid very close attention to that. So Chad Gable's gonna have to, if that continues everywhere, I don't think Chad Gable's gonna be the champion very long. So we'll see. So Intercontinental Championship match: Chad Gable against the Hall of Famer and the GM of AAA, Rey Mysterio, plus Dragon Lee will face Triple H El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. in the first round of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship No. 1 Contenders Tournament match tonight. Also, we're getting Ray Phoenix. And who was his opponent? And El Bisco tonight as well. Also, WWE World Heavyweight Championship No. 1 Contender Tournament first round match. The AAA World Cruiserweight Champion Ray Phoenix versus El Bisco. Singles match, we're getting Live Rakuria versus Sol Ruka. And then the main event, the Bloodlines, Jey Uso will deliver South Dakota to the Raw WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. So that did not go so well for the Bloodline. That video package they put together solo was timeless. Pew pew, this is your warning shot. Yeah, and it's crazy because they went all the way back to the first Raw on Netflix, which I definitely enjoyed that. Roman did say something about So the dad's probably watching, which is something that everything they do, you have to really pay close attention to because they kind of leave hints and stuff out there. So Roman's getting disrespectful. Where did you get that from? Aren't you begging me right now? He's cooking. Yeah. He also said something about Rikishi. So I don't know. This is a good way to get to where everybody wants to go. So they're definitely still on that trajectory, in my opinion, from storytelling. So we'll see if he decides he can work, but that's definitely either that or they're gonna have it. I don't know. It seems like Jacob is they're kind of telling a story where maybe Jacob, not now, but on down the line, he'll going to be the next one to turn on Roman. That's just the way it seems to me. I've been watching it for a while, so normally you can kind of tell just by facial expressions and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens though. So the show opens up with a video package recapping what went down in the main event last week, where Jey Uso defeated Solo Sikoa, where they had a stipulation where if Solo lost, he would have to come back to the bloodline. But if Solo won, then the bloodline was going to have to leave him alone. Jey Uso defeated him last week. So we have Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. We see the pre-show rival of Chad Gable, Sol Ruka, and Oba Femi. So we open with La Primera, Stephanie Bakura, who does look different. She looks different for sure. I'm not going to go into all that, but I'm just going to say she definitely looks different. Her music hits. She definitely got some crowd reaction. So, but I feel like this segment was kind of I don't know. It didn't really do it for me, but maybe it did for everybody else. I don't know. But her music hits. She makes her way down to the ring. She gets on a microphone. She starts talking about saying she's here for only one reason, and that is the WWE Women's World Championship. Stephanie says she is not here to talk. She says wrestling is her first language. She calls Liv Morgan out. She tells her, I'm not going to say the word. She calls her a bad word and tells her to basically get her ass up there. But she calls her something else. She calls out Liv Morgan for a fight. So we get the Trouble song. Liv Morgan, the Women's Raw Champion. Also accompanied out by Judgment Day. You're not seeing the whole group together hardly coming out anymore. It's just the ladies. Raquel and Roxanne was with Liv. Liv Morgan says she has a lot on her mind. She says she doesn't care what Becky Lynch thinks about her title reign. And Morgan says she's a champion for herself. And Morgan says she doesn't think she's scared of Stephanie. And Morgan then gloats about beating Stephanie at WrestleMania 42. Then Morgan says she is on her way to becoming the longest reigning WWE Women's World Champion of all time. Stephanie Bakura then tells her, why are you talking from way back there? Just come get in the ring. If she's not scared. So Liv says, okay. So her, Raquel, and Roxanne make their way to surround Stephanie Bakura. She is outnumbered 3-1. So then the judgment, all three ladies, they launch a 3-on-1 attack on Stephanie. Stephanie sends Roxanne Perez and Raquel over the top rope. Stephanie then headbutts Liv Morgan and super kicks her. But then the numbers game catches up to her. Roxanne Perez comes from behind and chop blocks Stephanie's knee, right leg. She goes down from behind. And then they start kicking her on the ground, obviously. And then out comes Becky Lynch. She makes her way out. She drags Liv Morgan outside the ring. Becky then sends Liv Morgan into the barricade on the outside. Becky then turns her attention to Roxanne Perez and Raquel. Becky then accidentally so she gets in the ring with Roxanne and Raquel. She goes for like a punch or something like that. It looks like Raquel moved out of the way and she accidentally kind of hit Stephanie inadvertently. You can definitely tell that we're headed for a triple threat, I believe, at Money in the Bank. But then Liv Morgan then drags Becky Lynch out of the ring and sends her into the post. Raquel Rodriguez in the ring that hits a big boot to Stephanie by core. Back in the ring, Liv Morgan hits Stephanie with a code breaker. And then Roxanne hits Pop Rocks to Stephanie by core. The Judgment Day stand tall. So then we did see the face off with Stephanie and Becky. She grabbed her twice, told her to stay out of her business. Second time, Becky pushed Stephanie. So yeah, it looks like we're headed for a triple threat. Wasn't my favorite part of the show. Like I said, it feels like they're just holding off as long as they can. I don't think, maybe at the most we get a tag match or something. A Saturday Night main event that could do Stephanie and Becky. Can they coexist? They'd love to do that. Maybe against Liv and Raquel, or I don't know. Next week, Stephanie Bakura makes her return to the ring. First match back since WrestleMania. She will go one-on-one with Roxanne Perez. So it's definitely leading to something. I could see them possibly doing a tag match, maybe at Sunday night main event, but I don't think we're getting a women's world championship match there. So we see the Usos arriving in the back with Solo Sikoa, and they are really, Jay's really playing the part, making fun of Solo Sikoa. But then they run into LA Knight. Jey Uso says they know the play and they will see him out there. Jey Uso then tells Solo Sikoa that the tribal chief is waiting for them, as they are making fun of Solo and also LA Knight. So that will play out towards the end of the show. Dominic Mysterio then makes his way out. He is accompanied by JD McDonough. Dominic says he demands answers from Rey Mysterio. Dominic then says he wants to know why he's not in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship No. 1 Contenders Tournament. And Javon Evans then cuts him off and walks straight to the ring. Javon Evans then says he's not leaving this ring until Big Cass comes out here. Then JD McDonough then calls Evans the dumbest guy in the ring and threatens to beat him for interrupting him. Javon isn't backing down from a fight, and the referee makes his way down to the ring. So we're getting a singles match with the Judgment Day, JD McDonough versus the young OG Javon Evans. So there was a lot of good wrestling matches tonight. So I'm not going to discredit that. So we get to a singles match. Dominic's on the outside with JD. The match I saw both men locking up. JD then gets into a shoving fight with Javon, slaps him straight in the face. Javon then fights back and hits a dropkick, follows it up with a Hurricane Rana. Javon then sends JD McDonough outside the ring. Dominic then runs in for an interference, allowing JD to regain control. JD hits something similar to the rock bottom on Javon. Fight then spills to the outside. Javon then sends JD McDonough into the timekeeper's area. Javon then launches himself over the barricade, taking out JD McDonough. But back in the ring, Dominic runs into a big boot on the apron from Javon. But then JD McDonough then works on the injured leg of Javon. So JD trying to take out that leg. Javon is not favoring his left knee, and JD continues to work on it. Javon may have tweaked his left knee, but I don't think he did. JD then tries to chop him, but Javon hits a red dot. And Javon then stomps on the toe of JD McDonagh. He follows it up with a kick to the back of JD McDonagh's neck. Javon then hits a flying clothesline for only a count of 2. Javon then goes for an OG cutter, but JD McDonagh countered with a headbutt, hits Javon with a brainbuster for only a count of 2. JD then heads to the top rope. Javon meets him up there. Javon then sends JD McDonagh's head into the turnbuckle. JD then trips him off the turnbuckle, and he misses, but then he misses a moonsault. And then Javon Evans hits the OG cutter for the 1, 2, 3. Javon Evans with the big win over JD McDonagh, but that wasn't it. Dirty Dom. No, I definitely can't trust Dirty Dom. But after the match, Big Cass ambushes Javon Evans from behind. Big Cass and hits a clothesline. This is all we've seen from Big Cass since he's been up on the main roster. 3 attacks to Javon Evans. Big Cass and basically hits Rack, just starts shaking Javon like he had done the last 2 weeks. And then he hits Javon again with the East River Crossing. Big Cass then looks to leave. Javon Evans is laid out on the mat, but gets to the microphone and said you can hear him panting and like pain. But he does get on the microphone and he asks Big Cass, "Is that all you got?" So Big Cass then gets on the apron, but Javon Evans hits him with a suicide dive. The fight spills to the outside. Javon is starting to mount a little bit of offense on Big Cass, but Dominic Mysterio, could Big Cass be joining the Judgment Day? I don't know. Dominic sends Javon into the ring post, opening it up for Big Cass to get his wits about him after Javon had got a little bit of offense going. Big Cass gets up and he sends Javon into the barricade and then sends Javon to the other side of the barricade back in the ring. Big Cass hits Javon again with the big boot and he leaves the ring. So another attack by Big Cass on Javon Evans. Obviously, Javon was looking close to being able to fight back, but ultimately, Dominic Mysterio played a role in Big Cass. What are are we getting this a Sunday night main event? Maybe. We'll see. Can't just have him just attacking them every single week. But we gotta do something here. I'm just not really feeling the whole Big Cass thing, so we'll see. Once he has a match, maybe I'm more into it. But all I've seen him do is pick up Javon, throw a big boot to him, put him in a bear hug, hit the East River Crossing, and then just walk out of the ring. So not too impressed with Big Cass. So in my opinion, Rey Fenix we're going to the first round of the tournament to see whoever wins will face Roman Reigns in Mexico in September. He's going to be the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Rey Fenix against AAA's El Fiscal. Big Cass' return is a big miss. I agree. If you guys are watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button. It will help me out. As I said, I had some difficulties tonight. Had to remake a whole new stream because I had to end the stream. It was shutting me down from going live. Wasn't able to go live on DW Television X page for some reason. So I am live on my YouTube, on my X page, and on Miami the Great's X page. But I am not live on DW Television page. For some reason, it will not let me go live on there. So we're getting Rey Fenix and AAA El Fiscal, with the winner of this match moving on to the semifinal to face the winner of Dragon Lee and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., which also took place tonight. So this was a good match. This was all these tournament matches have been fine. They've been fine. So the match saw both men locking up. Biscoff then applies a waist lock, and Ray Phoenix does the same. Biscoff then hits a shoulder takedown. Ray then hits him with Biscoff with the drop kick. Biscoff then hits a kick and a crossbody. Goes for the pinfall. Ray kicks out at 2. Ray then hits Biscoff with the springboard cutter. Only gets a 2 count. And Biscoff and Phoenix are now battling out on the top rope. Ray Phoenix hits a series of headbutts. When they're back on the mat, he hits a knee strike to the back of Biscoff's head. Ray Phoenix hits a springboard crossbody. Back in the ring, Ray Phoenix runs into a big super kick from Biscoff. Biscoff then continues to beat down on Phoenix. Then hits a clothesline to Ray Phoenix in the corner. Biscoff then hits a stomp on Ray Phoenix. Biscoff then hits Ray Phoenix with a drop kick for a 2 count. Ray Phoenix is now favoring his left knee. The AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Biscoff then sends Phoenix into the top rope and follows it up with a clothesline for another near fall count of 2. But then Biscoff then runs into a big boot. Ray Phoenix got his right leg up. Phoenix is then trying to fight back, and he hits a series of chops. And he heads to the top rope and he hits a springboard moonsault, but Biscoff kicks out at 2. Biscoff then catches Ray Phoenix mid-air, but Ray Phoenix counters and hits a running knee strike in the corner. Ray Phoenix then super kicks Biscoff and then hits him with a Mexican muscle buster for the 1, 2, 3. So Ray Phoenix has the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Ray Phoenix has advanced to the semifinals of the number 1 contender tournament to see who's going to face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship in Mexico. It looks like we're headed for a Ray Phoenix Penta final. Sign me up for that. But Phoenix has one more match to win, which I believe that match will Phoenix and Dragon Lee, and then La Parka and Penta will both be on Raw next week. And then we're getting a contract signing. We always have to have a damn contract signing for Obafemi and Braun Breaker. I don't know why they're doing a contract signing. That I don't understand. But the winner of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship number 1 contender tournament first round match is the AAA World Cruiserweight Champion Ray Phoenix. Head to the back with Kathy Kelly, and she is with La Primera herself, Stephanie Balcourt. She lets her know that she will be making her return to the ring for the first time since WrestleMania, when she will go one-on-one next week with Roxanne Perez. Stephanie Balcourt says Liv Morgan always needs help. Stephanie says she hasn't forgotten also about what Roxanne Perez did to her. Then we see Becky Lynch again. She's poking fun at Stephanie. Stephanie says she didn't need her help. Stephanie says Roxanne Perez is her problem. She tells Becky Lynch if she keeps doing what she's doing, she's going to make herself the next problem for Stephanie. Becky Lynch says, as long as you're chasing that Women's Raw Championship, then she's going to be a problem for Stephanie Balcourt. Becky Lynch says, good luck next week. I'm sure that Judgment Day, Roxanne and all them are going to just play it right down the middle and not have the numbers. She said, I'll be watching. She said Stephanie will face the numbers game next week, and she wishes her luck because she's going to need it. She said she will be watching. So definitely headed for maybe a tag match. I could see them doing a tag match. Can they coexist? Maybe a Sunday night main event, but this is ultimately going to culminate in a triple threat, I believe, as Money in the Bank. So it's a video of Lyra Valkyria, and she talks about how she is planning on getting her Intercontinental Championship back. Then we get Sol Ruca. She does get a pretty decent ovation from the crowd. Definitely a little bit of a new look for Sol Ruca. She's going to be going one-on-one with Lyra Valkyria. Did not understand the ending of this, truthfully. What are they doing with Lyra? So one-on-one, Lyra versus Sol Ruca. The match was off with both women locking up. Lyra then applies a side headlock. Sol then hits a reverse. Sol Ruka then reverses it. That hits Lyra with a standing drop kick, sending her to the outside. Sol Ruka then hits a knee, then hits a moonsault off the second rope. Back in the ring, Sol Ruka lands on the back of her neck after Lyra kicks the ropes. Lyra then trips Sol Ruka up and hits a scissor kick to the back of her neck for only a count of 2. Lyra then continues to punish Sol Ruka, but Sol Ruka fires back and hits Lyra with a neck breaker. But then Lyra fires back and drops Sol Ruka into the mat, heads to the top rope and launches herself off the top, but Sol Ruka hits her with a knee. She then hits Lyra with a German suplex and she follows it up with a missile drop kick. Sol Ruka then hits a big knee, but Lyra kicks out at 2. She then hits a German suplex. Lyra Valkyria then hits a neck breaker, and then she follows up with a scissor kick to the back of Sol Ruka's neck and goes for a pinfall, but Sol kicks out at 2. Lyra then hits Sol Ruka with a knee right to the back of her neck. Then Sol Ruka then fights back, hits Wwe Raw with a super kick. Then Sol Ruka then hits Wwe Raw with a DDT, and as she hurries up to run to the other side of the ring. She was about a little bit past the middle of the ring. She follows it up with a big soul snatcher for the 1, 2, 3. She beat Wwe Raw clean, but she's a babyface. But she beat her straight up in the middle of the ring with the soul snatcher. So big win for Sol Ruka as she's looking to regain her Intercontinental Championship that she lost not too long ago right before SummerSlam to Raquel Rodriguez. That could be where we're headed next. Sol and Raquel again. So a big win for Sol Ruka. So we head to the back with Jacob Fatu. And the Usos walk up. Jay Uso is really happy and cocky about what he did last week. Jay Uso asks Jacob, "Why are you over here sad, Us?" Jacob then says that Jay acts like you did. You act like you did it yourself. Jay said it doesn't matter how I did it because the Usos ran the play. Jay then asked Jacob, "Who is the punk ass? You know what now?" And he walks away. So like I said, there is a lot of dissension right now in the bloodline. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, there's a lot of dissension there. Sol versus Lyra, Kingpin. So Sol versus Lyra was very good. I felt like both needed to win, but I'm thinking that Lyra's going somewhere soon with another feud. Our last match with Bayley, if her and WWE work something out. Yeah, I mean, Michael Cole did bring up the legendary Bayley tonight, so they are talking about her a lot. Sol brought her up in her last couple of promos. Michael Cole brought her up tonight. Last I heard, she hasn't re-signed, but we'll see. I don't know. I think they've just kind of went backwards with Lyra ever since she beat Bayley at Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know. They changed the direction. They had Raquel take the title off of Sol, and now there's just not many baby faces for Raquel to face for that Intercontinental Championship. Is it better that they're having the tournament matches on Netflix versus AAA for the global reach instead of trying to get more eyes on AAA by tuning in and watching the show? Or having Roman versus Penta on AAA? I don't know, man. You can't really get much bigger than Netflix. So, I mean, I'm sure they're trying to get AAA. Maybe AAA fans that don't watch much, if they don't watch much WWE, it's a good way to get them to come over there to watch. Because of AAA fans, AAA wrestlers are on Raw. I don't know. It's a great marketing ploy, I guess, for them to do it on Netflix because it's so big. But definitely would not do Roman and Penta just on AAA. That definitely, their Netflix is definitely not going to miss out on that. So We got 51 viewers, which I didn't think we were going to get. Because like I said, hopefully I can get it fixed tomorrow where I'm back live on DW Television X page. But it said I could not go live from there because it says it has to have a check mark or something. I don't know. It's never done that before. So that's why I was so late. So Jey Uso is mocking Jacob Fatu in the back. So there's a lot of dissension there. Danhausen makes his way out during a commercial break to celebrate his birthday. Today is Danhausen's birthday. Danhausen that gives away some of the human monies. Not much to talk about there. They're kind of keeping Danhausen out of the spotlight. So is he starting to fizzle out? We'll see. We head to the back with Kathy Kelly. She is with the Vision, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Maxine Dupree, and Braun Breaker. Maxine and Austin Theory all they do is like they're obsessed with each other. I don't know. Maxine has not gotten the ring. It was fun at first, but it's starting to be like, God, where are you guys going with this? So I think the Vision is definitely at its lowest point. Logan Paul said last week was all about showing that they run this place. Logan Paul then says if anybody wants to step up, they will get put down. Maxine Dupree then reminds Austin Theory of what he did to take out Otis. Maxine Dupree then says she is happy that Austin Theory squashed Akira Tozawa last week like the cockroach that he is. Austin Theory then recalled Obafemi taking a cheap shot at him, and he says it won't go unnoticed. Braun Breaker then says if he has anything to say for Obafemi, he will say it right to his face. And then Braun Breaker just automatically just walks right on out to the ring. His music hits. Badass Braun Breaker. The last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been in a trance, worrying about if he is the face in the future of WWE and Obafemi. So Braun makes his way out to the ring. He calls out Obafemi, come out. Braun says, I know you're back there, Oba. Come on out here. Braun then asks Oba to come out and take the future away from him. But then we don't get Oba right at first. We get the Oracle himself, the advocate, the wise man, Paul Heyman. He makes his way out there. Paul Heyman gets on the microphone. He says he was once an advocate. He says he's an oracle and a wise man. Paul Heyman then steps in the ring and asks, who is the future of WWE? Paul Heyman even brought up something about, we'll get to that. So Braun Breaker then asked Paul Heyman, who do you think is the future of WWE, Paul? Then Obafemi then makes his way down to the ring. Loud ovation for Oba in Buffalo. Oba then says Breaker's asking stupid questions. Oba then said, Braun, you already know who the future is. Oba then said the WWE Universe knows it as well. Oba then said Brock Lesnar knows who the future of WWE is. So they're still name dropping Brock in this. Obafemi then says if Braun Breaker has a problem, he can take it up with him any day and any time. Braun Breaker then says he wants to do it. He said, what about doing it right here, right now? Because Braun Breaker's obsessed with Obafemi, so he wants to fight him right now. Paul Heyman gets on the microphone. He tells Braun Breaker if he takes one more step toward Obafemi, he will take a permanent step away from him. Paul Heyman then says this is a publicly traded company, and this is the biggest promotion on the face of the planet. Paul Heyman then says they don't just answer to the people live and at home, they answer to shareholders. Talking about TKO. Interesting right there. Never heard Paul Heyman say anything like that. Paul Heyman then says when two main eventers are standing in the ring, you don't do an impromptu match to decide who the future is. Paul Heyman that says the future is someone who understands box office, someone who understands main event, someone who understands that they promote the match to be the biggest match it can already be. Paul Heyman says he has already spoken to Raw GM Adam Pearce, and on Sunday, September the 6th, not Saturday, on Sunday, September the 6th, at Sunday Night Main Event in Atlanta, Georgia, in Brian Breaker's hometown, and Cody Rhodes' hometown as well. It will be going one-on-one. First time we will get to see it. Wwe goes one-on-one with Brian Breaker, and they will know who the future is at Sunday Night Main Event, September 6th. So that's 2 matches on the card for Sunday Night Main Event coming up on September the 6th in a few weeks. That will take place in Atlanta, Georgia at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night on Peacock, which the Sunday night, the first Sunday night NFL football game will be coming on NBC. So it's going to be Sunday Night Football going up against Sunday Night Main Event. So they are going to stack the card. So Brian Breaker then shakes Paul Heyman's hand and leaves the ring. Tells Paul to come on. He turns around. Paul's not standing behind him. Paul Heyman shakes Wwe's hand. Leaves the ring. Brian Breaker was not happy about that at all. Not happy about that. They're definitely still teasing that. I don't know why they're still doing it. They're teasing that Oba's working with Paul. I can't see it. It would be a good swerve. It would be a good swerve, but I don't think they're gonna do it. But they might. They might. I don't think it's happening. I think Bronson shows up. So I don't think either one of them needs to win like pinfall. I think maybe Bronson Reed shows up, we get a DQ. Maybe then Oba then has to go deal with Bronson Reed for a while. Maybe we get another rematch. Maybe at I don't know. Survivor Series, something like that. Braun needs to just snap and take out Logan and Theory on the Raw after the Sunday Night Main Event if no Vision members help him beat Oba. That's also something they could do. That definitely is something that could happen as well. What matchup reminds you the most of Oba versus Braun? Kane versus Undertaker. Austin versus Rock. Brett versus HBK. Or Randy versus Batista. I'm going to have to say with these two guys, with their size, definitely not Austin Rock. Not even close to that. I wouldn't say Brett or HBK either. It's really tough. I'm kind of torn between Kane and Undertaker and Orton and Batista. I'm gonna go with Kane and Undertaker. Is what this. I know that Braun isn't as big as Oba, so maybe it could be Orton Batista if you're matching it up with size. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Orton and Batista. But still big shoes to fill there. But I'm gonna go with Orton and Batista on this because Batista definitely has a size advantage over Orton. So yeah, we're getting Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Wwe and Brian Breaker are the first 2 matches on the card for a Sunday Night Main Event on Sunday, September 6th, opening weekend of NFL football season at 8 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. So we should be getting maybe 4 more matches added to that card. So Dragon Lee makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night. He will be going one-on-one with El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. This is the second half of the bottom half of the bracket on the first round, with the winner advancing to the semifinals to face Rey Fenix. Ultimately, with the winner of this tournament going on to Mexico to face Roman Reigns September for the Raw Championship. So we're getting Dragon Lee versus Triple H El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. And also another excellent match. Looking forward to Dragon Lee and Ray Phoenix and Penta and La Parker in both the semifinal matches next week. And then the finals, I believe, is also going to be on Raw. And I think it's going to be Penta and Ray Phoenix, and that's going to be great. So the match saw both men locking up. Dragon Lee applies a side headlock in the middle of the ring. Dr. Wagner Jr. then hits a shoulder tackle. Dragon Lee then tries to fight back, but Wagner hits a series of chops. Then hits Dragon Lee with the Death Valley driver for a count of 2. Dr. Wagner Jr. then hits a backbreaker. Sends Dragon Lee over the top rope. Dr. Wagner Jr. then hits a rolling senton to the outside. Back in the ring, Dragon Lee then hits a kick to Dr. Wagner Jr. Then runs. Dragon Lee then runs into a super kick. Wagner Jr. then applies a chin lock onto Dragon Lee in the middle of the ring. Then he punches Dragon Lee to the mat. Dragon Lee gets back up to his feet and hits a stomp on Wagner Jr. Kicks him to the face for a count of 2. Wagner Jr. then hits an Irish whip. Both men are now trading chops. Dragon Lee hits Wagner Jr. with a German suplex. Dragon Lee then hits Wagner Jr. again with the tornado DDT and flies over the top rope, wiping out Wagner Jr. Dragon Lee and Dr. Wagner Jr. are now back in the ring exchanging chops. Wagner Jr. then hits a big boot, goes for the pinfall, but Dragon Lee kicks out at 2. Wagner then heads to the top rope. Dragon Lee trips him up. Dragon then climbs the top rope, stomps on Wagner Jr.'s chest on the mat for a count of 2. Dragon Lee then goes for Hurricane Rana, but Wagner Jr. catches him midair and tosses him across the ring. Wagner Jr. then heads to the top rope and hits a frog splash off the top rope. A lot of elevation on that frog splash. Only gets a count of 2. Dragon Lee back on the offense, hits a kick to the face of Dr. Wagner Jr. Wagner Jr. then drops Dragon Lee on the top rope, hits him with a superplex. Dragon Lee then hits Dr. Wagner Jr. with an inverted DDT. Dragon Lee then hits Wagner Jr. with the Operation Dragon for the 1, 2, 3. So one heck of a match here. Definitely enjoyed both of the tournament matches tonight. Dragon Lee, who just defeated Dominic Mysterio last week, picks up the big win in the first round against El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. He will move on to the semifinals to face Ray Phoenix next week on Raw. And Penta will be in the other semifinal facing La Parka. 2 winners will meet in the championship, I believe, the following week on Raw. Well, I think that's tape, but so the winner of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders match is Dragon Lee. He will face Ray Phoenix next week on Raw. So we're going for our Intercontinental Championship match. For me, the best matchup of the night. But Chad Gable did not get much of a pop, which I definitely would be concerned about if you're a big Chad Gable fan. Chad Gable will defend the Intercontinental Champions against the WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Huge ovation for Rey Mysterio, and they were really into it at the end of the match when they thought he was about to win the title. So will WWE put the title back on Rey for a little while? We'll see. So the match starts off with both men locking up. Chad then hits a shoulder tackle and chops Rey Mysterio. Rey then hits a Hurricane Rana. Rey is now teeing off on Chad Gable. Then Chad Gable fires back and hits Rey with the German suplex. Both men are now battling out on the apron. Mysterio then sends Chad Gable head first to the post and follows it up with a Hurricane Rana. Rey Mysterio then poses with the Intercontinental Championship. He goes outside and takes a look at the Intercontinental title. Rey Mysterio then sends Chad Gable's shoulder into the post. Back in the ring, Chad Gable fires back, hits a fisherman suplex, but Rey kicks out at 2. Chad then hits Rey Mysterio with a belly back suplex, but Rey kicks out at 2. The fight then spills back to the outside. Rey sends Chad into the barricade. Rey Mysterio then hits a moonsault on the outside. Back in the ring, Chad Gable drops his shoulder into the post. Rey Mysterio then hits Chad Gable with the Tornado DDT for only a count of 2. Chad Gable then powers Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio up and hits him with a DDT. Chad Gable then heads to the top rope. He hits a fine headbutt, but Rey kicks out at 2. Rey Mysterio looks like he had tweaked his ankle a little bit on that. The referee is checking on him. Chad Gable then goes for the angle slam, but Rey Mysterio counters. Rey Mysterio then hits Chad Gable with a DDT, but he kicks out at 2 3/4. Chad Gable then hits an angle slam again. Rey kicks out. Chad Gable then hits an angle slam off the top rope. Rey still kicks out. Chad Gable then applies an ankle lock. Rey Mysterio counters. This is when the fans absolutely started going crazy. They thought we were getting a title change. Rey Mysterio then goes for the 619. But Chad Gable counters it into an ankle lock. But then Rey Mysterio then hits the 619, then goes for another one and hits it. This is the crowd is just going absolutely ape shit. Rey Mysterio then heads to the top rope and launches himself off the top rope, but Chad Gable gets his knees up, and it took the air out of the arena in Buffalo. He turns it into an ankle lock in the middle of the ring. He had it on, and Rey was flipping around a couple of separate 2 or 3 different times. But then Rey ended up reversing it into a try for a pinfall attempt. But then Chad Gable did the same thing, reverse roll up. And Chad Gable gets the 1, 2, 3 on Rey Mysterio. And the crowd didn't really go crazy for Chad Gable retaining. That crowd was definitely wanting to see Rey Mysterio win the title. But Chad Gable successfully defended the Intercontinental Championship over the WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, who has definitely not lost a step in the ring. I don't know how he does it, but he looked incredible. After the match, both men hug each other for show of respect. So we go to the main event segment. See Jacob Fatu standing by a black SUV. Jacob Fatu standing by when a black SUV rolled into the ring, and out comes the Wwe Raw Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. Roman and Jacob walk to the ring. Roman's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring with Jacob Fatu. WWE Universe then erupts with Roman Reigns chant in Buffalo. Fans were going crazy. Roman Reigns gets on the microphone and he says, "Buffalo, acknowledge me." And they do. Roman Reigns says, "There's a receipt he's here to collect tonight." Roman Reigns then calls out Solo Sikoa. And then the Usos with some new music. Got the warning shot in there, the OTC. Someone will get dog walked. Jacob Fatu is not happy camper tonight. So the Uso music hits, and they make their way down to the ring with Solo Sikoa. Solo is face to face now with Roman Reigns. The fans are chanting, "Welcome back. Welcome back" to Solo. Reigns says he doesn't care what they're saying. Talking about the fans. Roman Reigns says the WWE Universe can sing whatever they want. Roman being a heel. Roman then says Solo Sikoa, the sight of him absolutely pisses him off. Roman then says he's a blessed man, but some say he's petty, so he has everything he wants. Roman Reigns says he can hold a receipt for a long, long time. Roman Reigns recalls, and they go back and show this whole thing from the first Raw on Netflix, beating Solo Sikoa in the tribal combat match of the first Raw on Netflix. Solo never acknowledged Roman after that. They talked about that and showed the video. Roman Reigns asked Solo if he is a cool guy now. Roman says he wants Solo Sikoa down on his knees right now. This is where he's talking about well, not right this second, obviously, when LA Knight comes out, he starts talking about Solo's dad watching. You can Roman definitely was a heel in this segment, or maybe back to being a heel now. Roman then he tells Solo to get down on his knees. Jacob Fatu then super kicks Solo Sikoa and applies the Tongan death grip in the middle of the ring. And then Roman said, "It's enough." Tell Jacob that's enough, and asks if he is too funny now. Roman Reigns says the Usos called the play and they executed it. Roman then says they level up. That's when he calls them the captain, and he puts the Black Ulafala on Jay and Jimmy Uso. So Solo owes Roman an acknowledgement. He does, but he didn't do it again tonight. Makes sense why they did this now, but he didn't acknowledge him. So, when Roman was putting that Black Ulafala on Jimmy and Jey Uso, you could see the look on Jacob's face, even though he's already gotten his own separate Ulafala, but it wasn't that one. He said Roman said this was the captain's. The Black Ulafala. Roman Reigns says the Usos are the captains. They call it play and they executed it. So they're leveling up. Roman then says he's the tribal chief and these are his captains. Jacob Fatu did not like that. Roman Reigns says if anyone disrespects them, they're disrespecting him. Roman Reigns grabs the Black Ulafalas and gives it to Jimmy and Jey Uso one by one. Then out comes the megastar himself, LA Knight. Yeah, he makes his way down to the ring. LA Knight then gets on the ring apron. Jimmy Uso runs toward him. LA Knight lowers the top rope. Jimmy Uso goes over the top rope. Jay then grabs LA Knight. LA Knight sends him to the outside of the ring. So now LA Knight gets in the ring, but Jacob Fatu hits him from behind. Reigns and tells him to stop. Then Roman hits LA Knight with a Superman punch. Usos then hold LA Knight. Roman Reigns grabs Solo Sikoa. He tells Solo Sikoa they are his family. He has to make some tough decisions now. So you brought this man here, you're going to finish him. That's when he started talking about Solo's dad watching. And he needs to what was the word he used? Basically do what he needs to do for the family. Basically what Jacob did to Royce Keys. Reigns and tells Solo to send LA Knight back home where he found him. So it looks like Solo Sikoa is about to hit the Samoan spike to LA Knight. He tells him he's sorry, but at the last second he swerves. Solo Sikoa hits Roman Reigns with a big Samoan spike, and the crowd erupts for Solo Sikoa. Jimmy and Jay are saying, "What the hell? What the hell are you? What did you just do?" Roman Reigns is on the ground. Jimmy then asks Solo what he's doing. Solo then points his finger at the Usos like they do with the warning shot. Jey Uso then runs towards Solo Sikoa, but Solo throws him to the outside of the ring. And the LA Knight that hits Jimmy Uso with the BFT. Solo then sends Jay into the barricade, and he hits Jay on the outside with the Samoan spike. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu are now in the ring. Jacob's just staring at him. Roman Reigns setting up for a Superman punch. LA Knight catches him, turns around, and hits Roman Reigns with his finisher in the middle of the ring, the BFT. So Sikoa then gets in the ring, and he looks at LA Knight. They fist bump. Solo and LA Knight then leave the ring. Jacob Fatu did not do anything else. LA Knight music hit. They stand tall as the show comes to a close. LA Knight asked Jacob, are you going to do what your daddy tells you to do? Are you going to do something about it? So, very interesting segment here. I did not think Solo was joining back with Roman Reigns, and he was supposed to at one time, but once he started getting this babyface reaction, they were like, nope, changing plans. We're going to keep you a babyface. We'll see how this ultimately plays out. We're definitely headed for Roman versus LA Knight. Looks like it at Money in the Bank. LA Knight's not winning the title, so sorry for you LA Knight fans. Don't want you to get your hopes up. And then we probably get a Solo Sikoa Roman Reigns again. So this is where we're headed with all this, but there's so much dissension in the family. Obviously, he made Jimmy and Jay the captains. Jacob basically sat there while Roman ate that BFT. So many layers to this bloodline stuff if you pay really close attention to it. So that is how the show came to a close tonight. Next week, we will get to the 2 semifinal matches in the number 1 contenders tournament. See who will face Roman Reigns at the Raw in Mexico for the World Heavyweight Championship. Penta goes one-on-one with La Parka. And Dragon Lee faces Ray Phoenix. 2 winners moving on to the finals. We'll also get Stephanie Valcour going one-on-one with Roxanne Perez in her first match back since WrestleMania. She lost to Liv Morgan. And we'll get the contract signing for Sunday night main event. This could main event. I doubt it, but it could. For Obafemi will go one-on-one with Braun Breaker. I said that last time, and Brock and Ova ended up main event, but this isn't Brock Lesnar, so we'll see. Those matches are official for Sunday night main event. Sunday, September 6th, from Atlanta, Georgia, 8 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. All right, so this is if you have been watching live on YouTube, or you're going back and watch it live on YouTube, please hit that. I do apologize about the late start. StreamYard kicked me off when I tried to go live from the DW TV page, so I had to redo set up a whole new stream. Shout out to I Am Blue Gotti and Tribal Kingpin as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Needed 2 more likes yesterday for 2 of the news channel passes this coming week. There will not be a Sunday Night Scoop on the 30th. I will be doing an NXT Heatwave recap around the same time. So, and also next Monday's stream will be an hour earlier because Raw will be an hour earlier next Monday. So instead of 11 p.m. Eastern, it'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern next Monday. Shout out to Tyler as well and Peter Anthony Fernandez. So once again, this has been your Raw Recap live here on the EVP Show, Monday, August 17th, 2026. We're live on my YouTube channel, my X page, and Miami the Greats X tonight, not DW Television. But make sure you follow Miami on X and the DW Television X page, where you can find Miami the Great tomorrow and also on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern with Inside the NFL Mind with Miami. Me and him will be back starting, I believe it's September 2nd. The first Tuesday in September, we will be back for the EVP Miami NFL Recap Show Season 2. That will be starting up the first Tuesday in September. But in the meantime, tune in to Miami on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. For Inside the NFL Mind with Miami, he will be live tomorrow. Hopefully, he can log into my StreamYard and figure out what's going on with the DWE account here on my StreamYard. You can also find them live tomorrow on their YouTube page, which is Talk It Up Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join him tomorrow. I believe he's also live on Twitch on DW Television, DW TV on Twitch. Tomorrow and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern with Inside the NFL Mind. On Saturdays, we join him and the CFO and HR of DWE, Final Boss Baby, with 2 B's. Make sure you tune in every Saturday to DW Radio. Make sure you follow her also on X. And you tune in to DWE Radio on Saturdays. You can listen to that on DW Television X page. Talk It Up Podcast on YouTube, DW TV and DW Television on Twitch, and also on Spotify as well. Shout out to also follow the DW Family Media page on X as well. Shout out to the World of Greg. Him and Kyle the Man Anthony were live earlier at 7 p.m. Eastern. They were live earlier tonight, as they are every Monday. They'll be live an hour earlier next Monday because Raw will be on earlier for the rundown with World of Greg and Kyle the Man Anthony. So make sure you follow the World of Greg. Speaking of the rundown, you can catch that every Monday an hour before Monday Night Raw, as they will run. Kyle and the World of Greg will run down the Raw card for you. Speaking of Kyle the Man Anthony, catch him on Mondays with Greg for the rundown, but also on Wednesdays, 2 days from now, he is the host. You can catch him and myself at 8 p.m. Eastern Wednesday for Queens of WWE episode number 10. We'll be live on my YouTube, on my X page, also on DW Television as well. Hopefully we can get it sorted out. Don't know what's going on with it. So, so make sure you follow Kyle the Man Anthony on X and on Instagram. Director Reg, After Slam Podcast on X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Smoke Session Podcast, Sports Jedi Network, and everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. I will be back shortly to tell you guys where you can find me on my social media platforms, what I have coming up for you guys for the rest of this week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recap Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, once again, this has been your Raw Recap. Sorry for the late start tonight, but we got it in. Make sure if you go back and watch the stream, let me know what you thought about Raw, what you like, what you didn't like, anything. Leave me a comment. I do check my comments frequently. Also, I did put out some of the YouTube shorts from Sunday Night Scoops yesterday. They are on my YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check them out. As far as my social media platforms, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, all my links are in my bio. You can find me on X, EVPCJP. YouTube is pinned at the very top. On Instagram, at EVPCJP as well. It is a business account, but my YouTube is in my bio. You can find all my upcoming videos from my upcoming streams made by Miami and the World of Greg. On TikTok, at Brady the Goat 21. That's at BRADY DA Goat 21. Also a business account, but my YouTube is in my bio. You can find all my upcoming videos or upcoming streams. Last but not least, and most importantly, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. Help me get to 400 subscribers, guys. Share the YouTube page if you are subscribed, or if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you cannot find my YouTube page on any of my social media platforms, go to that search bar up top and type in at the EVP Show. Over 1,000 live videos, over 500 plus YouTube shorts, and a couple of pre-recorded videos as well. If you are subscribed, make sure you turn that notification bell on. You will be reminded of my daily wrestling content. And if you did watch the stream live on YouTube tonight, please make sure you go back and hit that like button, as it does let YouTube know that we are a real YouTube channel here. So thank you guys for that. You guys show up and show out, especially on Sundays. You guys kill it on Sundays. So what I have coming on next for you guys, tomorrow night, I'm back at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. As we're getting ready, it will be the Go Home show, or right before NXT Heatwave. Wait, no, that's next week. Sorry, I lied. It's not the Go Home show, to NXT Heatwave. Tomorrow night, though, I'm back at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time for your NXT recap show. And then Wednesday night, as I mentioned earlier, join the host, Kyle the Man Anthony, and myself, the co-host, here on my YouTube channel, on DW Television X page. Also on my X page at 8 p.m. Eastern Wednesday night for Queens of WWE episode number 10. Thursday night, we switch gears, and this has been the craziest week of Big Brother yet. Go to reality TV. Who won the HOH? Who went to the BB time capsule? Who were the initial three nominees? Who won the golden power veto? Was there a power play? Did anyone take themselves off with the power veto? Was there a power play? Who are the final three nominees? Who won the BB blockbuster? And who will join the other five of Big House guests? Join me Thursday night for an action-packed week. This week has been absolutely insane at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your Big Brother Season 28 Week 6 recap show. It's going to be an intense night. I am looking forward to Thursday night already. So make sure you guys tune in for the Week 6 recap show at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night. Friday night, I'm back. CM Punk defends the Undisputed Championship against Kevin Owens in Canada. Join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the SmackDown recap show. I'm off Saturday. Come back and join me Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. As we will be giving away at least one exclusive membership to my news channel in the Discord. Bobby won this past Sunday. So congrats to him. He is in the channel now. So congrats to him. He gets a free month. And you can also sign up. Don't forget to sign up if you want to sign up. It's $3 a month. I did want to cover Survivor. I really did. Survivor, Amazing Race, and Traders are all starting before Big Brother is going to be over with. I hate it. Maybe I can catch the next season of Survivor. If it's because usually Big Brother usually only comes on once a year in the summer. So I wanted to cover Survivor, but I wanted to cover Amazing Race, and I also wanted to cover Traders, but they're all starting together. So it's gonna be really difficult. It's too difficult for me to be able to fit all that in. So fortunately, I won't be covering this season of Survivor, but I will cover the next season because Survivor usually runs at least 2 times a year, and Big Brother only comes on once a year. So, but I will cover Survivor next season for sure. I'm definitely not getting away from reality TV. So make sure you guys tune in Thursday for the Big Brother Season 28 Week 6 recap show. With that being said, guys, this has been your Raw Recap here on the EVP show. Thank you to the 137 people that's tuned in either on my YouTube channel, my X, or on Miami the Greats X page. That being said, guys, hope you guys enjoy your Tuesday. Stay out of this heat. It's crazy hot out here. Come back tomorrow night and join me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT recap show. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. DWE is the only place to be. Have a happy Tuesday and come back and lock in and come join me tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for your NXT recap show. Good night, everyone.